Hi, purpose-driven career leaders. My name is Kori Burkholder, founder of Purpose-Driven Career Accelerator program, and I am here with Becky Moody, who is one of my previous clients, and we wanted to hop on here today and share with you some of the results that she got through the Purpose-Driven Career program. And I want to introduce Becky. Where are you calling in from today, Becky?
Hi everyone, I'm calling in with Kori today from Bonaire in the Dutch Caribbean.
Amazing. Living the life. And yeah, so I just wanted to ask you a few questions and kind of dive into what you achieved through working together.
Yeah.
So I'm curious as to what you were struggling with or feeling frustrated about prior to entering the program.
Yeah, the reason I really wanted to connect with Kori and start the program was I had just come out of a 3-year run of opening a new business, and I was running a new business, a small business in the food industry. And, that business really, like many small businesses, now I realize that didn't take off the way I thought it would. And so I was coming from what I'd call a pretty dark place of not knowing what's next career-wise, not knowing how to transition that experience of running a food business into getting into a more standard job, both just pursuing the job market in general to get a job, but then also beyond that, finding something that could be meaningful, that could offer more longevity and growth, and just needed some general confidence and guidance as well into finding what's going to be the right fit for me career-wise.
Mm. Yeah, so you were in this big transition. You were this business owner, and you were trying to figure out what you wanted to do beyond that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, did you have any concerns? Bigger concerns when you were deciding to work or enter into the program? Any concerns entering in?
Yeah, absolutely. Sharing now with Kori for the first time, but it wasn't necessarily Kori. I had decided that I needed to work with somebody. I had reached that point of I need to take a step. I'm ready to put resources into finding it, but I needed to find the right person to help me with that. So I had been having calls with other career coaches, just trying to find the right match. And I think what I really loved about Kori's approach when I met her is that it combined kind of a more whole person approach, not just specifically, well, what job do you want? What's your career skills? It kind of, from our first session, I could see that there was going to be more of a holistic perspective of who I am as a person, what's going to be better for me long term, maybe even some of these other things that I am dealing with in my life going through this huge transition. And so I just had apprehensions initially investing both the time, the energy, the money, but with Kori and your program, I honestly it felt like a more approachable way to really understanding, less of just a commercial, in 8 weeks you're going to have a job, which sounds nice, but I actually felt better knowing we were going to be looking intrinsically at some other things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because we're focused on career, right? We want that dream job. We want that job that's really going to align with our values and our skills, the skills that we love using. But we also need to look at life too. What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? A lot of people are looking for work-life balance. What does that look like? We're dealing with stresses, and so we have to kind of look under the hood and really decide and dream about what it is that you want next, right?
Yeah.
So can you share some results that you might have achieved during the program?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I had great results. I was hesitant at first, but we did these exercises over a series of weeks. I worked with Kori over a few months even. Within a couple weeks of working with Kori, I did land a job that I needed back in the workforce, a 9-to-5 type job, and it wasn't my dream job. And it would have been easy for me to say, like, I am a failure, but actually working with Kori through that time of accepting that job and using that as a starting point, I had her to help build kind of my confidence through there. And we continued to work while I had that job. And through the confidence I gained from the exercises that we did, I actually compiled a book of my strengths and weaknesses that were revealed to me during our sessions. And then I just continued on with Kori's help and her guidance, and communicated with more people, reached out to a network that was based on my skill sets that were being revealed to me through the program. I had new interviews that were coming to fruition all of a sudden. And in those interviews, I was able to really have concrete examples of things that I had done in my past as to why I would be the right fit for the job. My confidence was much higher because I was sure. You provided me through the program that assurance of, this is what I've done and this is what I'm able to offer. And I didn't know that beforehand. So within 9 months, I had a job offer out of the blue, unexpected, with another company that was much more suited and aligned to my skill set, better salary and pay grade. And really it went from, being in a job and being back in the workforce, to now having a more career aligned profession that I can, pursue going forward.
I loved how you got that. I mean, we're able to really get that bridge job, right? So it wasn't the dream job, but it gave you that stability that you really needed to be doing this other work, right? To figure out what that dream job is for you. And I even remember us doing the writing your own job description, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened in this new job that you landed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was leadership based, and I wanted to be at a point where I could be making decisions and working with some pretty great people. And those are the jobs that just started revealing themselves to me. And it was somewhat a form of manifestation, but also having it secured and concrete now, it was just much easier to go after what I was looking for. Where before I didn't really know what I was looking for or where to start. So,
yeah. So let's talk about where you were before you started and then after.
Yeah. Where specifically would you like to begin with that?
I think when we first started working together, so like you were sharing, it was, you had the food truck and kind of confused. You were kind of feeling confusion around your next career moves to after.
Yeah, I mean, before, closing down my business was hard. Still finishing things up with other employees. I will, full transparency, hit a level of financial independence that was lacking in my life for one of the first times ever, which affected me emotionally and spiritually and just in my day-to-day resilience, so I do know at that point I wasn't even sure if I had the means to even invest in something like this, but I'm just so glad that I did, really and truly, because I did immediately get into more meaningful interviews even shortly after you and I started doing work, where before I was just submitting resumes and trying just to go through whoever I could to just find anything, something. I felt kind of desperate. And then after starting the work, I just immediately had more purpose and more focus in my search. I gained a wonderful friend throughout the process of this. And then working through that time and having that book now compiled of exercises and things that we've done for me to access and utilize, I have used those later in my new job, right? I've been able to look back on some of my strengths or how I analyze things or what I could do and improve. And it's just given me confidence, but also just the ability to know that I can learn and I can evolve and I can continue to grow in my career and have the type of career that I want that's going to be rewarding for me as well, not just financially. So, I mean, since working with Kori, so our work stopped and I did have a new job. I even was recruited beyond that for even a bigger role at the executive level, which is what I was looking for. I didn't know that's what I was looking for, but through my work with Kori, I knew that's kind of what I wanted to do, was really work with startup businesses and utilizing that time of turbulence I went through with my own business. Now I'm able to work with new startups at the executive level and help them, find operations and things that work for them successfully. So I don't know if I would have gotten there in the same path or with the same ease as I did having the tools that you provided. So I'm just very grateful for that. And
yeah, and you bring up a good point, because just because we did the work one time doesn't mean that it's lost, right? So you're actually using what we did in the program even after to assess, job opportunities and things like that.
Oh, absolutely. And I've also been able to use it even within work when I've had coworkers and things come to me with issues they might be experiencing. And some of the things I've learned through working with you, I've been able to use as tools with some of my colleagues to help them get through maybe something they're going through. So it's kind of just like you put tons of tools in my toolbox that I'm now able to utilize. And even in times where I'm feeling a little insecure even about maybe what's next, especially during like a COVID time, I know that work that we did is still there, so I can go back to that and utilize it.
Just brings so much joy hearing that. So was there anything surprising that you weren't expecting to come through in our work together?
Yes. I really thought it was going to be more like the traditional, here's a job and we're just going to go for jobs and you're going to do X, Y, and Z and get that job. I think what I didn't anticipate was how much self-discovery I would have that would be impacting my life on all facets, personally, professionally, interpersonal relationships. The work that you're doing, what Kori does, is really great, because there is this element of visualization. There's this element of, I don't want to say spirituality because it would really depend on who it is that's doing the program, but I found a sense of spirituality in some of the work that we did. So just, I think, understanding myself at a deeper level, and how I relate not only to jobs and at work, but how also I relate interpersonally just in my own relationships. So that was an unexpected thing that I gained, and it sparked new interests for me as well, and other things that I've pursued since our work. So I think that's
yes, I love it. And what would you say to somebody who is considering entering into the program? They're kind of on the fence, they want to, but something is...
it's cliche, just do it. I mean, I guess that's what I mean. Really and truly, I know it's a financial burden and a time burden maybe, but through working with Kori and in other areas of my life, I found that when it's something that's weighing on me and at the last minute I decide not to do it, or at times, let's reverse that, I go into something that maybe a couple days ago is like, I don't know if it's a fit. Those are usually the things that I find most rewarding and most valuable. And just do it, sign up and see where it takes you, because you're a kind person that has this ability to really see people. You really can. And I think that's the gift. So if you sign up with someone and if someone signs up and they're not loving it or not getting what they need out of it, I know that, one, that probably won't happen, but two, that there would be a level of empathy and understanding and conversation to just see how things can be better aligned, or even if it's not a match. But I just give yourself the gift and just do it, because you will know yourself better as a professional and also as a person.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for your time today. And it was such an honor to work with you and support you, and just to see you spreading your wings out there and really stepping into more purpose-driven work. So thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.